Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here. Welcome back to the second Millwall analysis video of the day. And this one is Millwall versus AFC Bournemouth. I really still can't get over the fact that we've somehow gone and beaten Premier League opposition. Wow. It took some doing in that game though. And I'm going to be honest, the reason I felt that Bournemouth lost that game was due to the fact they'd made so many changes to the team. It was quite weird when I turned up looking at the starting 11, because I was just scrolling on my phone on the app that I have to check the starting 11 and the squads and all the results and everything, and I see Bournemouth have changed every single player. Not even one first team player that played against Arsenal was there, which was quite weird, but obviously it was a huge mistake on Eddie Howe's behalf, but we kept the same squad, so that was the way we kind of went with. The way the game went for us was probably because we know how we work, we know how to play. Those players just weren't really in sync with each other because they didn't play so much. Now on to the game itself, and the first major chance in this match was in the 5th minute, and this was a huge chance. It really should have gone in the back of the net, as there was a absolutely embarrassing mistake by Bournemouth's defence, as Jordan Lee played it back to Adam Federici, who should have got to the ball but he didn't. Lee Gregory got inside and just literally nicked the ball from Federici, and so that meant that the ball went spiralling back to Steve Morison, who had an open goal really, and he missed it. I don't know how he missed it. He's scored 12 goals going up until that point, and how you can miss that I do not know. But to be fair, that was good for Bournemouth for the fact they didn't concede that, because it was a little bit upsetting for them the way that planned out. But Millwall were dominant in this game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We were, for quite large spells. We played some nice football. And well, our first goal came in the 26th minute. It was through a corner as Sean Williams drifted the ball in, and it met with the head of Steve Morison, who beat his marker and headed the ball into the back of the net, which I'm going to be honest made up for the sitter earlier on in the game. Now that was Steve Morison's 13th in all competitions, and what an amazing goal it was, and what an amazing game it set this up to be. Fred Odinyema was the star of the show in my opinion for the Lions, and he picked the ball up off of Emerson Hyndman, who was also another pretty good player in their game. For Bournemouth though, he then had a mazy run, which meant that he dribbled inside from between players, out of players. It was a crazy good run, and it went from Millwall's half of the pitch to the Bournemouth box, and this is where he saw Lee Gregory. He then turned and actually gave the ball to Gregory, and Gregory's shot just went wide of the target. That was really unlucky, but that was the only real chances in the first half. Now on to the second half, and well, it actually started with a pretty good Bournemouth attack as Mark Pugh twisted and turned and got a cross into the Millwall box. Now this ball just went over the head of newly substituted Callum Wilson, as it just went too high over him, and it actually went to a player in a Bournemouth shirt, Lies Mousset. Now Mousset had a free header and somehow he missed the goal, and can I just point out this fact, Bournemouth didn't actually have an entire shot on target, disregarding obviously that they had something called offside. And it didn't take much longer for Millwall to actually go and extend their lead. In the 49th minute, minutes after they'd kicked off, obviously, Sean Cummings burst through the Bournemouth defence and played the ball out wide to Steve Morison. Morison then went and chipped the ball into the area as he was just outside the box when he got the ball. And Federici did a pretty good job, as in he stopped the ball going to Gregory. However, his parry fell to Sean Cummings, who actually was running, and somehow it just caught up with his foot and went in the back of the net. That's actually Cummings' first ever Millwall goal, so congratulations for that. He has been phenomenal since he's come back from that injury. Then the Millwall attack just continued into the second half. They just continued and continued. It was really nice football, because it was just counter-attacking football. And Lee Gregory was the one that won the ball. He then played it out wide to Ferguson, and Ferguson continued his run. He just kept running, obviously, as he came on as the substitute. He dribbled his way to the edge of their box on the left side, so the far side of it, and he had his shot there, but it just went wide of the right side of the goal. Now, I mentioned earlier that Bournemouth had something ruled offside, and they did actually, as Mark Pugh's shot was parried by Millwall goalkeeper Jordan Archer. It then fell to Callum Wilson, but he was offside, and the linesman put his flag up to stop Millwall fans worrying about a late Bournemouth fight back. And I've had a look at it a few times to see my actual opinion on it, and I've got to say Wilson was just offside with that one. But it would be Shane Ferguson who would go on to seal Millwall's win with a late goal in the 4th minute of added time as Steve Morrison expertly tackled ex-Millwall player Lewis Grabban. He won the ball and then started the counter-attack with David Wall and Shane Ferguson as his options. Morrison then played the ball this side to David Wall, who dribbled with the ball and cut inside. So he went from the right side of the pitch into the middle of the pitch, and then he found a pass to Shane Ferguson, who then picked up the ball, dribbled towards the box like he did with the move that he recently missed, as I told you about, and then he actually had a strike, and this time the ball went in the back of the net. That was Shane Ferguson's 3rd goal of the season. It was an amazing goal. It was huge relief to see that go in, because Bournemouth were really good when they was attacking. They just didn't have that right finisher to put the ball in the back of the net. Now, for the key players, I'm going to have to go for Millwall as Fred Odinyema. The 20-year-old was absolutely fantastic against these Premier League opposition. Now, he dribbled past the defence on many occasions. He won the ball back so much, and you can tell he's become a great player in this past year playing for Millwall. So we need to get that contract sorted out of him so quickly, because we need to keep hold of him. He was absolutely outstanding, and he really run the show in the game. Now, for AFC Bournemouth, this was slightly hard for me to pick because they kind of had quite a lot of times where they were struggling. But I did think that Jordan Ibe had a pretty good game. But also another player that I will mention, someone that I did think played better and shouldn't have been subbed off, was Emerson Hyndman. I thought that he run their midfield. He was fantastic. He's a small player, creative individual. He did really well. And that was until he got subbed off in the 56th minute, which was really early. But obviously Howe did what he had to do there, and he subbed off a player that I thought was playing really well. He had fantastic passing that created so many chances. Obviously they didn't do nothing with him, but he still did the good thing that he needed to do. Now, as I said, Jordan Ibe was the key player. Let me just explain why I chose him. Now, it's to do with his pace, as he just continuously ran all the time. But Tony Craig did really well to defend him, a lot better than I thought he would, to be fair. And if it wasn't for the Millwall defence playing as great as they did, I'm sure of the fact that Jordan Ibe would have put that ball in the back of the net. He was really good in the game, and well, it's just a shame for him, but obviously it is what it is. I think Bournemouth will feel slightly hard done by with some of the things that didn't go in their favour, but that is just football sometimes. All I can say is I really like the fact that Bournemouth came down to the Den, but I don't like the fact that they didn't start some of their key players. Obviously they kind of misinterpreted and kind of underestimated Millwall's power. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this Millwall analysis video. It has been an absolute pleasure to record this video. I mean, what a huge result for the Lions here, and I can't wait for the FA Cup draw, which should be on in about an hour and 10 minutes as this goes up at 6 o'clock. So like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will see you guys in that next Millwall analysis video. And guess what? It's away to Cheltenham. What a fantastic game. I can't wait for that one. So like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will see you guys in that analysis video. But obviously until then, goodbye.